Hey, Jason.
Hi, Caleb.
So we're going to try something a little different here today.
Okay.
This is an experiment, so we'll see how it works.
I'm really excited.
I
don't know what we're doing. What are we doing?
So I know that, getting every single achievement in a game recorded and descriptions and everything is a lot of work.
I've done that on our channel. It is a lot of work.
And I know that we both really liked Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
So maybe we take kind of a shortcut here and just talk about the achievements in Resident Evil 7.
I think that sounds like a plan. I am here with the man who has 1,000 points.
I do have 1,000
on Xbox, or a platinum trophy for those of you watching or listening that are PlayStation people. So you're the expert, man. Fill me in. So
how far did you get?
Let's see, I played through it once. I went through and grabbed all the collectibles on the first try and made sure that I grabbed all of the missable achievements.
Okay.
So I know what those are. I think that I started my second playthrough, but I decided that I was done with it. I really liked it. The stuff that I didn't get to see was the speedrun, and then also the hardest difficulty has an achievement as well, or a trophy
Madhouse,
as well. Yeah. Madhouse. Okay, so that's kind of where I stopped.
Okay. So what I would suggest for those of you just starting the game is that I would personally suggest 4 playthroughs. You could very easily do it in 3, but okay. I would suggest on your very first playthrough, don't just pause this right now. And just come back to this after your first playthrough. Don't look at anything, because the game is really worth not having anything spoiled and just playing through just completely blind. But I know that that's a hard ask for people, because that's a 4th playthrough of this game. So.
I think there is some merit to that, because I guess it's not. It does have some of that traditional Resident Evil puzzle feel to it, where you're moving object to object. Yeah. From place to place, object to object. And the thing though about it is that's interesting is there are some things in this game that are a lot like Alien Isolation. Yeah. And the best parts of Alien Isolation are in Resident Evil 7. Where Alien Isolation worked is where Resident Evil works in that way, where it's not it's a corridor puzzle. Yeah. So you've hit a wall and there's Jack. Right. And how do you deal with Jack, and how do you get out of an environment? You can't just brute force your way past Jack. Yeah. So there are several instances in that game where you're solving corridors and solving puzzles, and there's a really rewarding feeling when you're done with that. Right. But if you're using a collectible guide, or if you're trying to say
after you solve the puzzle and you're like, oh man, I saw that there was a puzzle, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And if you're looking at a speed run right away, you're gonna see all of that stuff.
So then after you're done with that blind playthrough, if you decide to do that, the next thing I would suggest would be to do an easy playthrough. And this is essentially just what you did.
Yeah, it is.
So your next playthrough is going to be getting all the collectibles. There's bobbleheads, there's documents, and there's coins. Okay. Get all of those things. Do the boss-specific achievements. I'm not going to go through those right now. I would suggest during this playthrough you keep some strategic saves. Just maybe every hour or 2 hours or whatever. Just keep a save there, even as you're going through the rest of them, just in case you miss some things, you can go back. Okay. On this one, I would give Zoey the serum. Sorry, that's a very minor spoiler for the game, but we're gonna have to do some minor spoilers here if we're talking about achievements.
You told everybody to stop, so we're in the clear.
Right. Yeah. But if you give Zoey the serum, that does not skip a very small fight. It's not that big of a deal. You do either way, but you do have to do both endings to get both of the achievements.
So there's a choice where you make between Zoey and the significant other, the main character, Ethan.
Mia. Yeah.
So you decide Zoey first. Then.
I would suggest Zoey
and not
first,
Mia,
just because there's gonna encounter. If you give it to Zoey, there's an encounter later in the game that lasts maybe 30 seconds. Okay. But it's on Madhouse, that's 30 seconds. You don't have to worry about getting damaged. And that's also on your speed run, that's 30 seconds you don't have to worry about. So, okay.
Okay. All right.
That's why I suggest that here.
Okay.
The most important thing to do on this one is do first place at the science fair, that achievement or trophy, because you just keep that one in mind, because it's really the only one that you have to keep in mind throughout your playthrough, if that makes sense. The rest of them are kind of do this thing at any one specific time.
I don't remember that one.
So what you do for that one is you use all the combinations of chem fluid and herbs and all that stuff.
Every possible combination.
Yeah. And it's really not that much. Just keep a list of those and just tick them off as you go.
Okay.
But that's the only one that you really have to worry about through like an entire playthrough.
And it has to be in one playthrough.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think so. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not
and you don't want to do that one if you're managing like an item box achievement later on.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I would do there's 2 videotape related achievements. I won't spoil those here, but if you want to look at the list, those are pretty easy to do, and you should be able to redo them if you need to. Just plug the videotape back in and try it again if you want to.
And those are the game puts you into the tape. Like right. You are the person in the tape, like the VHS tape. And you have to do very specific requirements when those parts happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I would suggest for playthrough 2 or playthrough 1, depending on how you want to do this. Like I said before, I would keep a couple of saves from this playthrough just in case you want to go back and mop anything up. Because the other ones there's very specific things you need to do. So this is your kind of catch-all playthrough.
Yeah, to maximize your most achievements as possible in one playthrough, this is the one to do it.
And this is where you're going to get the bulk of everything too.
Right.
So the next playthrough that you would do, I would definitely suggest to do this one on easy as well. Just because this is going to be your speedrun playthrough.
Okay.
So if you play on easy as opposed to normal, it's going to be way easier to speedrun, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You have to speedrun in less than 4 hours. This is not difficult. I easily did it right at about 3 my first time, and that was even making a lot of mistakes, like forgetting where to go and stuff like that.
Really?
And it was still right around 3 hours.
So you think that 4 is generous?
Yeah, definitely. So don't stress out about it, but anything you can do to save yourself some time, do it. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't stress out about it too much because it's not that difficult.
Okay.
The other thing you need to keep in mind on this one is you should go for the opening the item box less than 3 times achievement.
Does the description on that achievement say 3 times?
It's 3 times or less.
Okay, and it's in the description?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do here is what I suggest is, and this gets a little tricky. What I would suggest is you open the item box at the very beginning of the game, just to get your post-game items that you got from your previous playthroughs.
Okay.
Get those out in your inventory. And then you have to do the item box twice in the story.
Okay.
And I won't spoil why or anything like that, but don't use the item box until you're required to for the story, because that's going to be 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
The tricky part about this is after that story part, after a different story part actually, it leaves you with no inventory. So you have to get from, it's about a 10-15 minute stretch of the game that you're going to have to do with absolutely no inventory, which seems a little tough, but it's really not on easy because you can just run past everything. The biggest thing about that is what you're going to want to do, and this is going to be in the kind of one of the last areas of the game. You'll get into some like mine type area.
Right.
And when you get down to the bottom of that, when you get to a point where there's multiple paths that you can take as far as tunnels go, run straight ahead, and there'll be 2 remote bombs there. And that's going to be enough to get you through.
And they'll be just sitting on the ground?
Yeah. Okay. It's in kind of a cave straight ahead.
Okay.
And once you get those, that's really the only inventory you need to get through that whole section.
Okay.
So towards the end of that section, there'll be 2 of the big, I don't know what they're called, but the big spitting.
Yeah, spitters, we'll call them.
Whatever.
They kind of look like those Left 4 Dead spitters.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Yeah. And there's going to be a ladder next to them. And the tricky part of this is if you don't have those remote bombs, it's going to be pretty much impossible to get past them.
You're right.
Because as soon as you start climbing the ladder, they're going to spit at you.
Which happened to me.
Yeah.
I did not have remote bombs at that part, and I tried to just run past them, and that fluid they spit at you will damage you, and you will fall down the ladder.
Yep.
That'll screw up some speedrun stuff. It'll screw up all sorts of... It'll put you behind if you're not prepared for it.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, as soon as you get in there, run straight up to them. Don't be scared of them. Run straight up and put a remote bomb in between them. And then ignite it immediately so that they explode. And then wait just a couple of seconds till they're starting to get back up again. Because I think they're invulnerable when they're on the ground. So wait just a couple of seconds till they start getting back up again and lay your second one. And on easy, 2 bombs should kill them.
Because you can't damage them just back to back. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then that'll allow you to get up the ladder. Then the second tricky part about this is there's the final boss after this. And you still have no inventory and you're not allowed to access your item box. Luckily, the game lets you get around this.
Okay.
So go straight into the final boss and die purposely. Because on the loading screen, it'll have a screen that says manage inventory. You can go into that, get all your guns back, get whatever you need back, and that doesn't count as an item box. So just die to the final boss, and then you can get all your stuff back.
And so it's just like a little UI that comes up that says manage inventory?
Yep. Yep, it'll say continue, manage inventory, or return to title.
That's really interesting, which may be the only place in the game that happens.
I think it's on... There's a couple of bosses you can do that on.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of times when you kind of get stuck, like you couldn't go back to an item box.
Oh,
so they want to make sure you have a chance.
Came into something unprepared.
Right. Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's a good way of... I think there have been games in the past that have broken in that way. Yeah. And so I think that's a very modern way of handling that.
Right. The other thing you're going to want to do on this playthrough, and again, this is way less difficult than it sounds, is use less than 3 healing items. If you really, really need to, go ahead and use a healing item, but you shouldn't need to. You can also use steroids, and those don't count as a healing item.
Talk to me about steroids, because I don't remember seeing them.
There's 4 steroids in the game in various places.
Okay.
They increase your max health. They also heal you up to that max health.
I didn't know that they increase your max health.
So if you wait until
take more damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you wait until you're like about to die on one more hit and then use a steroid, that's going to fully heal you up and increase your max health.
I had no idea.
So
that's really valuable, especially on this playthrough.
So, and those don't count as healing items on your results screen.
And this is something that isn't picked up or crafted, or which is it?
It's just a pickup.
It's a pickup. So you don't have the ability to craft steroids, right?
Correct. Yeah.
The way that you can do several items in the game.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm not the best gamer in the world, and I was able to do this using 0 healing items.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's not as hard as it sounds, is what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah. Okay.
I would also suggest on this playthrough to give Mia the serum. That'll skip your...
That'll offset the one you did in the first playthrough, or second playthrough.
Yeah, so then that'll skip a 30-second encounter, plus then you'll get the other achievement for completing the game.
Okay. All right.
Now for definitely the hardest part of all of this. It's still really not even that hard. The 4th playthrough or 3rd playthrough will be on Madhouse.
Okay.
You have to make sure you get all the Madhouse coins. There's a lot more of them, and they're in different locations. So make sure you look up a separate list for that.
So it's not the antique coin locations from the first playthrough?
Correct, yeah. Okay. So if you're getting discouraged, because at the very beginning of the game, when you have a boss fight in the attic... If you're getting discouraged there because that's difficult, just know that is by far the most difficult part in the entire playthrough.
Yeah.
And it's at the very beginning of the game. So if you can do that, you can do the Madhouse playthrough.
So you get past that, you're good, you're equipped. You feel like you're confident that you can get through that. The hardest part of that is that you don't have access to your item box before that point. So you can't get into any of your post-game and so items. as you go through these playthroughs, you are rewarded with items that can make it a little bit easier. Yes, definitely. Okay. Especially the one that you get for completing your speed run, which I'll talk about here in a minute. Okay.
But for that boss, 2 kind of hints there. Use the axe. Don't try the pistol. Pistol does nothing there. Just use the axe exclusively.
Really? Okay.
And then make sure you're blocking. I tend to forget that you can block in this game.
And it's a temporary thing, right? You can't just spam block.
You can just hold it down.
You can hold it down. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So just make sure whenever you see the boss start to swing, you put your block up.
Okay.
I would also suggest on this playthrough, don't ever buy the scorpion key because you don't actually need it for anything. And there's not enough coins to buy everything. So the other stuff that you can buy is much more valuable than getting the scorpion key. Okay. So I would suggest don't even buy it. So the item that you get for your speed run, small spoiler here, I guess too, is a circular saw, which has no ammo. It has no limit. You can just have it continuously go. Okay. And that, if you just aim up towards an enemy's head, it'll take them out in like 2 or 3 seconds. Wow. So that actually makes Madhouse pretty doable.
Okay, with the circular saw. Yeah. Got it.
For bosses, where you can't necessarily use the saw, you can use the Albert, which is the gun you get for just completing the game. Right. Which is relatively powerful, and you can find a lot of it. Just uses pistol ammo.
So it uses regular pistol ammo. It's just an overpowered pistol. Right. Okay.
Another item you get for, I think it's for destroying all the bobbleheads, which you've done in a previous playthrough. You get the X-ray glasses for that. Okay. And those allow you to... Did you ever use the psychostimulants? Mm-mm. Okay. No. The X-ray glasses just allow you to see...
Oh, I'm sorry. I did. Okay. Yeah, the item finding things.
Right.
Yeah.
So the X-ray glasses, that's just permanently on.
It's just on.
So you see where every item is in the entire game, which makes this... Yep. And since you're not concerned about time here, just go scavenge everything you can. That'll make sure you have enough ammo and everything to get through the game.
Which is, okay. And you feel, I guess that's, I like that you recommended the speedrun first. Yep. And then this second.
There's one boss fight, probably about 3/4 of the way through the game, where it's really important that you use the 2 items they give you that increase your blocking. So you'll see exactly what items I'm talking about once you get to this point, but... if you use those, that boss is way, way easier because he can do a lot of damage to you. Okay. So just make sure you're blocking. Okay. And then on this, you do have to use a cassette tape every time you want to save, kind of like the old Resident Evil games.
So there is in the regular playthrough, or the first easy playthrough, you find the cassette player, recorder, or whatever, but there's no ink ribbon-esque thing.
Yep. And on Madhouse, there is that.
Really?
But don't worry about that. There are plenty of cassette tapes. Okay. I finished the game with 6 extras. So don't save whenever you want. Don't worry about it because there's plenty of them. Okay. After that, you should have everything.
That's it?
Yeah. That's about all you need to... The rest of it should either come naturally, or maybe you'll want to load up one of those saves from your first playthrough and hit something.
Like boss-specific achievements and stuff like that?
There's something that's boss-specific, or... it's just there's little things like the things in the videotapes. You might need to load back up for that. Right. But other than that, you should have everything at this point.
The stuff like let's look at the list. Stuff like there's kill an enemy with two enemies with one weapon. Right. Stuff like that. Just there are some spots. In the
that
game,
one you probably will get naturally. Just the insects at one point are pretty easy to kill too. Okay. In one.
And then speaking of insects, there's a spot where there's insects before a boss fight. There's like insects on a door.
Yeah,
and you gotta swipe those.
Swipe them off with your knife. And this is just like little stuff that you may get naturally, and if you don't, just load up your save.
Right. Use a guide and go back to them. There are nice spots to get them, but that's why I think it's good to save as much as you want, so you can find spots that are kind of easy to miss things if you're not in the right place. So yeah, I'm looking at the secret achievements right now, which pretty much are all just finish the game, right?
Yep.
So let's speculate. There's 2 pieces of DLC on PlayStation right now, you said?
I think there's actually 3.
Wow. Okay.
I think each... Actually, no, I'm wrong. Each volume contains 3 pieces of DLC.
Okay.
So there's 2 volumes, 3 pieces, so 6 total.
Wow.
And
so
I don't think Volume
left.
2 is out yet.
Okay. I'm excited to check that stuff out.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about that DLC, so
really?
I'm excited for it.
It's so rare these days.
Yeah.
Good things about DLC.
Yeah.
So that's how you recommend doing it, huh?
Yeah, that's my recommendation. It shouldn't... if I was going to give a rating to it, I'd say it's probably about a 5 out of 10. I really don't think it's that difficult at any spot. It's going to take you probably somewhere between 15 and 20 hours, depending on how quick you are.
Because it's not a long game.
It's not a long game, and when you know where you're going, I can do speed runs now where I'm well under 2 hours.
Wow.
So it's really not a big time investment.
Wow. Wow. 2 hours. Okay. Then you get really comfortable with it. What's the world record? Around?
I think right around 130, I think. Yeah. That's crazy. Which there's a lot of tricks in there that they're doing where it would be really tough to
There'd be PC. Yeah, I would assume that's a PC speedrun.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right, man. Anything else to recommend to the folks?
No, that's about it. Thanks for joining me here.
Yeah, thanks. That's let's see if people like this.
All right.